Have you been noticing more breakouts, more rash on your face now that you're in your 50s plus? I thought I left that behind. What is going on with the skin at this stage in our lives? Let's talk about that.
If you're here, then you woke up today. And that is a blessing. Don't take that for granted. Don't waste it.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa Galloway, and this is Beauty from Inside and Out. And yes, I think it was time to talk about what's going on with the face. Listen, I've been there. I think that when you finally experience something, you can have a better perspective of things, right? So, what could be the culprit to that? And this could happen to you at any age, but I think I've been paying closer attention to it because I feel that at this age, why would it be happening? Listen, I'm past menopause. I'm not, my hormones to a certain degree are not going bonkers and hitting all the walls and the ceiling and the floor. Like, that's not happening. So what is going on? I've never been a person to have acne problems, even when I was younger. I had the occasional pimple that would come out here or there, but there could be so many reasons. And I want to break down just a couple of really basic things that maybe you're doing, maybe you forgot, and I'm like, yeah, I need to do that, or I didn't even know that. Like, wow, thanks, that's an eye-opener. Like, let's talk about it, okay? So breakouts and rash, of course, two different things, right? The rash can be from so many things, as well as sometimes even acne. All right, let me start off with something that's real basic. Honestly, I don't know if it's maybe just laziness sometimes on our part, right? Could be, or just forgetfulness. Like, when did I do that last, right? So what am I talking about? Something as simple as changing the bed sheets. Listen, our bodies are on the bed for those 8 hours, right? Releasing and sweating, and dead skin cells are just dropping all over the place, flakiness. I know it sounds disgusting, but think about what's on then the sheets, right? So let's focus specifically, leave it on the pillow, right? On your pillow. Let's not even go there if you're not even just cleansing your face properly. We'll get to that. But just even having a clean face, and you're putting all the things right at night, all the serums and the oils, well, that's going to sit on the pillowcase as well, right? And so if you're not changing the pillowcases, and I'm not saying that you're going to go and remove your pillowcases, or your bed sheets like every day, every night. That's insanity. But I'm talking about just letting it sit there. This may be a little TMI, right? But weeks. I mean, I don't know how many of you have had like children, young adults, or teenagers. If you're not on top of them, do they do it? I mean, seriously, if you've been there, you know. So the sheets, the pillowcases, if anything, even just at least the pillowcases, because our faces are on that for 8 hours. And I remember my son going through this even when he was a teenager, and he did have a lot of acne problems. And that was the number one thing that the dermatologist said to him, is make sure that you're changing your pillowcase every other night, especially in that period when everything was so active, the acne and everything. And so it's important. So let's just get that out the way. It's like a almost bedroom talk in a sense, like you don't want nobody to know. But keep a calendar, even if you have to. I mean, make it a certain habit into your schedule and do it at least once a week. If you're on the good side where you're like, I'm not having any issues. Clearly, if you're having issues, then maybe do it a little more often until you can get past that, right? So that's number one. Number one, which I think is so important, it just goes down the road of cleansing, right? So let's get into cleansing, since I mentioned the whole washing your face at the end of the night, at the end of the day, and how important that is for so many reasons. I can't remember. I mean, if I'm gonna keep it real and truth, I didn't do that a lot in my younger adulthood and teenage. I would not wash my face. I just thought, oh, I'm too tired, or seriously, other than just getting in the shower and doing an entire scrub. I wasn't specifically going in to do a individual face cleanser. And that can lead to so many problems. Just even on the breakout side, not so much on the rash side, although that can happen, but just on the breakout side to make sure that you're cleansing your face. Now, let me just kind of give you some suggestions on how to do that. I'm a big advocate on double cleansing. I didn't understand the whole purpose of it for the longest time, honestly. I was just like, this is kind of like more time spent, but it really isn't. And I was surprised to see how much dirt I still, or makeup or sunscreen, whatever I had after the first cleanse, when I went to go do the second cleanse, and I was wiping, and I had you can put it to the test, use like a washcloth that's white or that's lighter in color, and you'd be surprised how much dirt you still have on your face. So double cleansing. Okay, this is what I use, and it depends on kind of what my skin is doing or what it needs. Now, I have more normal to dry skin, but because I'm aging, my skin tends to be more on the drier side, and I need that extra hydration. So I try to find things that have that in it, just to help my skin. So when I'm not using this cleanser, which is specifically targeted for my hyperpigmentation, it takes care of, and I use this as a second cleanser, as a second part of my cleanser. So before I get into this, let me go to the first one. What do you do to first cleanse your skin? Okay, you have several choices. You can either go in with like an oil balm. Okay, I use this one from Naturium for the longest time. You can see I'm almost out. And I really don't use this one much anymore, and I'll explain why. But this is a great cleanser to just break down the makeup and the sunscreen, whatever you have on your skin. And that's really what it's doing. It's cleansing and breaking that down. It's going to leave your face a little bit more on the oilier side. And that's why you then, of course, on top of the fact that you need to double cleanse, you want to double cleanse because you don't want that oil sitting on your skin, right? Especially if you're going to go ahead and go into any products for your routine skincare, whatever you're trying to target, it's a must to do that second cleanser. So a balm is really good. It's great the way it's used. You put it on to your hand and you just break it down and then put it on your face, dry face, and you rub that off, and then you go ahead and cleanse that off. The other way you can do it, if you're not really crazy into balms, is using an actual oil. I got this one off of Amazon, and it is just called the oil cleanser. I believe it's like Japanese, I'm not sure, but it's really good. I'm almost out. You can see here, like I think I'm down till about there. And again, I kind of stopped using these because I'm going to show you the other way that I now remove my first cleanse. But this is a good one too. Same concept. On dry skin, you rub it onto your skin and just break down the makeup, and then you're gonna go in for your second cleanser. Now, what I have been using is this pad, which I love so much. I love this so much. It is by a company called Glow Off. It comes with 2 pads, so I haven't used my second one. It's good up to 250 washes. This is, it's extraordinary the way this works. I love this so much. Okay, so the reason why I switched to using this versus like a balm or an oil, two reasons. One was because my system in my home doesn't, it had like a septic tank, and I was gonna have all these issues because of like the oil that was could clog up going in down to the pipes, which is another story in and itself. It could probably be even a problem, even if you don't want to have septic. But I chose not to do that, even though I did really enjoy the process and the way how everything breaks down. And I still do that from time to time, but this is what I'm using now. So, oh, and the other reason was because when I use like false eyelashes, I can't put it around my eyes. And so then it became a thing of like, okay, I have to now be careful, take a Q-tip, wipe around my eyes. So it was taking a little longer, but I hence came in this glow off. And this is, it's not like a typical one that you can get. Trust me, it's very different than what you can pick up at anywhere that you see. Like Lisa, that looks like anything, any other pad I've seen. It works differently. It really, truly does. So you just run this underwater and you make sure that it's absorbed with water, wring it out, and then you just take it to your skin and you remove your makeup. It comes off. You will see it on the pad. Once you're done, you can go ahead and wash this by hand, wring it out, and just let it air dry. Up to 250 washes. I still am using mine, and I've had it for like a year. Very inexpensive. I have, I'll put a link to this if you want to go ahead and try this. But it is such a good pad to have to break down that first cleanser. If you're sensitive or maybe have some kind of reaction to like an oil base, this is a great substitute to go ahead and use. If you just have oilier skin and don't want to do the oil, you know, kind of first cleanser, this is a great one to use. So I think it's worth a try. You can throw this in the wash. I never have because it washes so well by hand. And again, I just let it air dry for my next use. So love this little magic eraser. It is so good, called Glow Off. It is so soft, so soft. I think that's the reason why I truly like it. I don't like anything very abrasive on my skin. I will even use like, not just any kind of like washcloth, right? I like to make sure that it's like fiber. I love this. This is so good. So again, you'll find it in the link if you want to give this a try. Very inexpensive. So that's the first cleanser when you're going to remove your, to cleanse your face. You use like any kind of that. The other one then I go into goes back to what I was sharing. And this is the one for the hyperpigmentation. This is with the Celesty beauty line. I love this. I think that this is why this is, I think, in my opinion, really good. If you are someone that doesn't really want to spend a whole lot of time even on going in with serums and all the skincare, because this has a lot of ingredients that are going to target your hyperpigmentation, and that's this specifically. There are other ones that are washes that target other things, but this is the one that I particularly need. You rub this onto your skin as that second cleanser, and you just kind of take your time. Leave it on there for about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Let the ingredients work and do what it needs to do to your skin before you rinse it off. Such a good second cleanser. I can't say enough about it. It works for that reason, but then also just as a second cleanser in just general. So love this one. The other one that I'll use when I'm not using that one, I just recently started using it, is with Prequel. So I'm sure that if you've never heard of Prequel, amazing line. I started using one of their serums for a foot cream, and I loved what it did to my skin. So this was like a big trend hype for a while. I didn't jump on that bus right away, but what kind of just lured me in is the fact that it has glycerin. Again, that extra hydration for mature skin, I think, is exceptional. So, and this is a huge bottle. I mean, it'll take me forever to use this. You don't need very much. I put in my palm of my hand, maybe like a nickel size, And that's it. And I'm using it probably about maybe 3 or 4 times a week. So this is an amazing, in my opinion, a great second cleanser. So cleansing your face is crucial when it comes to avoiding as best as you can the breakouts and the rashes, but especially the breakouts. Rashes, again, like I said before, can come from a slew of things. Let's get into the other thing that I think we either need a reminding of or we don't really understand the true importance of it. And that is cleansing our brushes. There is so much bacteria that we can transfer when we have the acne already, and then we're using the brush and we're going in with our products and then we're putting it back on, and it's almost like a vicious cycle. So clean your brushes. Listen, I need to be better at this, me personally as well. If I don't, I try to have like I said, a little calendar where it's like a reminder that at least I'm doing a deeper cleanse once a month with all my brushes. And again, once a month, because it's a little time consuming, you have to let the brushes sit out overnight, right? To let them dry out. And there are a lot of brushes. And do not, I can't express this enough, dunk them in water, because it is the fastest way to ruin the life of your brush. It'll break down the glue in the base of your brushes and the bristles will start falling out. I've had my brushes for like 6 years, and it's because I do not wash them that way. Everyone has their own opinion. I feel like that's a great way to just keep the life of your brushes. So what I do is once a month, I do use a deeper cleanser. They have so many. So this is the one I prefer to use. I'll show you one that I used to use and I love it too. So you can have your suggestions on either one. But this one is with Seint. I love this brush cleaner. It comes, once you get the first one and you're ready to purchase a refill, it does have the refill, and the refill will come with the soap, okay? So it has one of these little scrub silicones that you can help take the dirt off your brush, but you have your soap in the can, and you wash your brush just one at a time. Just take the water to the brush, put it in there, swirl it around, and again, wash them, set them aside, and you'll have amazing clean brushes overnight at the end of the day. So this is a great, I think, deeper cleanse for your brush to do monthly. Try it, you won't regret it. Okay, so this is the deeper cleanse. The other one that I have used in the past, and this is one that I got off of Amazon. It's called Cinema Secrets Pro Cosmetics Makeup Brush Cleanser. It kills 99.99 bacteria free. So it comes with a little can. So you can put your solution in the tin can, and you can see I'm almost out. I haven't really used this in a minute. Like I said, I used the other one, but you just take just a little of this solution and you put it inside your tin can. You don't even have to fill it, just maybe like not even a quarter of a way. And you take your brush and you dip it in, and then you swirl it around onto towel paper and they're going to be wet now. So you'll have to leave these also overnight, because although you're not dunking, like I said, your brushes submerging your brushes into water, the bristles are going to be wet after using this solution. So you'll have to still leave them overnight, but it's a great deeper cleanse on your bristles so that you have a disinfected brush, cleaner brush ready to be used right the next day. So again, you can pick this one up in Amazon. I'm not sure anywhere else, at least this is where I got it. So great cleanser, and big bottle, so it'll last you quite a bit. The other way I enjoy, and I mentioned this one I think on my last video, is by Seint as well, and this is another brush cleaner. Now this one, why I love this one, I tell you, I will continue over and over. It has probably been one of my most purchased products off of Seint, And that's saying a lot because I bought a lot of products from Seint throughout the years. But this one is so good. What it does is it allows you to use your brush right away. So you take your bottle and you can either put it directly onto the, and you can see how this brush is dirty, okay? I even have a little stain. I should probably be cleaning this one deep with a deeper cleanse because it needs it. And I just sprayed all over my table. But let me show you. So you just take that spray and you just swirl it around a towel paper or a towel, right, that you may have that you're not really caring about it getting stained, because it will get stained. But it will clean your brushes. It kills that bacteria, you know, out of the brushes, which is our main goal, which is what we really want. But look how already that is so much cleaner. Even that stain I had on the side, now I have a little bit there still, so I'm gonna go in because I just went straight into the top, and you can just swirl it on the side. It comes right off. You know, it's seen to the eye that your brushes are clean, you know, because it is a disinfectant. If you go on the site, you'll see how it works as far as, you know, the disinfectant formula that's in there. But look what a beautiful clean brush, no stain, took it right off, and it is dry. It's dry. Not to mention, this thing smells so good. So it has a scent to it, not overpowering. To me, it smells like bubble gum. Remember that pink, juicy, if you're from my age, my era, you remember it? It used to come with that plastic, that paper little cartoon that was wrapped around the pink gum. That's what it smells like to me, like bubble gum flavor. So love this so much. I think it's totally, everyone should have this. I think every woman should have this cleanser. You will not regret it. Once you start using it, you will see the difference and you'll be ready, and you'll know that when you're down to nothing almost, I gotta get another one. So that's an amazing cleanser to make sure and disinfect your brushes so that you're not contaminating and getting issues with acne. Okay, so we've talked about cleansers. Let's go ahead and talk about something also. This leans more now into like the rash, and I can speak really personal on this because I had an issue around my mouth with a dermatitis. It was horrific. I had it for 2 months. I had it longer than that. It actually took 2 months for it to clear up. So really, I had it going on for about maybe 4 months, and it was such, not only was it just not appealing to look at, but also it was annoying because it was itchy. It was just really red. It was fire red. That, of course, can come from so many things. I personally think for me, it was just stress around that time when it all kind of exploded. It was just how it manifested. It's almost like a domino effect, because then when you have it, you have to be careful of what you're putting on your skin, because it can irritate it. It can have the rash last much longer than what it needs to be there. So that being said, my whole thing about introducing either new makeup and this is kind of just, I think, clear across the board in general. I'm sure you've read whenever you've bought something where it just may say in small fine print, right? You know, have like an area where you're testing something that's brand new, whether you're doing something to your hair, whether you're using something that you're putting on your skin. It just says like, do a patch test area, because we don't know what that's gonna do. We don't know what the effects are. Some of us are more sensitive. We have more sensitive skin. Take your time when you are introducing new products to your routine. I know I could be guilty of this because I just enjoy trying new products. But when you do, just ease into it. And I believe that you wanna not try too many products all at once, because if you do end up having some kind of a reaction, you're not gonna know exactly which product that came from. So that's, and I know it's frustrating because you want to try all the things. I know that's me. I want to try all the things, But if you do that, you won't know which of the culprit of the products that you're using caused then your skin to fire up. I'm a big, huge believer on, and I used to not be, but when you know better, you just do better, I always say. And I'm a huge believer on just really listening to what your skin needs. I know I have to remind myself of that because I am one that loves to just try things to see if it's gonna work, like it claims that it's gonna work. But sometimes I think the key really is every day our skin changes. So pay attention to what it's asking for. Like really pay attention. Once you know what your normal skin is, you know, I mean, we all fall in a certain category, I believe. Like sometimes we can be clearly either more dry skinned or maybe more oilier skin, or maybe you have a combination. But I think once you know where you fall, when something's off, when it's doing something different, when it's asking for something maybe more, you'll know what it is, because your skin has almost just been trained now to be like, oh, wait a minute, I used to like that and that was working, and I miss it. So you'll see that. You'll see when is it time to maybe even introduce something new. Can your skin get used to a product and maybe its effect may not work? Who knows? Listen, that's the case with, even if you think about it, antibiotics. Like I remember constantly being told by the doctor, because I have, autoimmune disease, that if we are giving you something for a long period of time, the effect of it starts to dull out. So it's more important to give it to you when you're having the flare up versus giving it to you all the time, because then when the flare up occurs, it's not going to be effective. And it could be the same thing with even your skin. Your skin can get used to a certain product and then you're like, why is it not doing what it used to do? Maybe it's just time to go ahead and introduce something else to it, because it's needing just a little tweak of something special, something that's missing, that maybe that product no longer serves you. So that's what I mean about just really paying attention to your skin. So I hope that all these things that I've brought to you today, as far as cleansing and just doing kind of like the basic things that I think that we just sometimes either just put it in the back of our minds and we forget how important they are, has been a little bit of a reminder for you today. And I'm looking forward to hearing your comments, whether these things that I've mentioned are helpful to you. Are you going to try some of them? What do you do when you're breaking out in frustration with a rash or acne? And I love to hear your opinion on how you handle it. If it's been something a little different than what I've shared today. Okay, I leave it here until next week. I will see you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I love you.